How is it going, guys? Mutemwaya back again with another video. So guys, in today's video I'll show you different setups with only one light, which I normally use in my studio, and you can create really nice images, maybe on a budget, maybe you only have one strobe or one speed light. I'll show you different setups which you can use to create really nice images. But no further ado, let's get into the video. Yeah, so guys, the first thing we're going to do, of course, we need to set up the background. And I set up the background in different ways. Sometimes I can set the background up to maybe this level right here, and instead of just pushing it so that the model can step on the white surface, sometimes I tend to roll it and maybe set up a miler, like on this photo right here. I just set up roll this and set up a miler so that I can get the reflection. I'm sure you have seen the video. If you haven't, click this link up here. And for today's video, most of the time, what you need first is the background, because you need if you're a beginner photographer, you just need a space where you can shoot, and mostly you can hire a space. You also need a light and a camera, and that's the best way to start. Of course, we have the accessories for the camera, like the trigger and memory card, all that, but those are it's a must for you to have to begin photography. And as I said before, my channel is more about beginner photographers who are getting into the photography industry. So yeah, the first thing, of course, you have to set up the background. Guys, I do these videos very late in the evening, so that's why I never have a model in the studio, but I'm working on it. Next time, the video I'm doing, I have to get a model to help me with the outcome and the results, because mostly I set results from my previous photo shoots. So just set this right here. Okay, now you can see the background is done. So what we normally do, if you're using one light setups, I prefer you use bright backgrounds or white, because you see, when you're using white, it actually mostly works as works as lighting. So that means you don't have to do so much to just balance the light from the background to from the head to the torso. I prefer using white background. And the first light setup, of course, you can always go ahead and get assistant, because it really works perfect if you just using one light setup, because you can put the light as high as possible. And for these light setups, we have I'll be using the one. I have this very big soft box. This is the 150 centimeters beauty dish or soft box, and it's like double diffused, and sometimes they come with a grid. I haven't attached my grid. This is the grid. But for this one, for the 80 centimeters, which I've attached to my video light. But this is the grid. This is what you attach on your softbox if you really want to reduce the power of the lighting, which is really eating your model. And for the grid for this one, it's this, but I haven't attached it, but we will attach it later on our last setup. But I'll just go ahead and pick my AD400, because that's my main light, and show you different setups which I normally use with only one light setup, and I'll show you some images. Yes. Yeah, so guys, I'm back. So let's say, for example, you only have the one strobe, either a AD600 or AD400 Pro. My main light is the AD400 Pro, and I use this all the time. Starting maybe, let's say, July this year. And the first light setup, we're going to use the butterfly light setup. You see, when you set your light on this level, let me show you. First of all, you have to attach your lighting to your C-stand like that, and then you have to rotate it this way, because you need to also create space for your shooting. So you rotate it that way, like that, this way. That's looking nice. And then you put on your lighting. Perfect. And then you can see, let's just remove the light cap. Okay, so you can see how I've set my light. I've set my light in a way that it's like I can get the shooting space somewhere here. You can see I haven't set the stand this way and then the light up here. I like setting the arm more straight on this side, and the arm has to be same level with this stand right here, this leg right here. So the arm and the leg have to be on the level so that it won't trip and fall. And what I normally do, I like to stretch, so you just support this. Always support your lights in your background. Always try to use the what are they called, sandbag, so that you can support your light, so that when you attach your softbox, mostly like this softbox is really heavy, it won't fall. So you can always have a sandbag. And you can see this light is double like this. So what I normally do, I just set this up here like this. Guys, this thing is heavy. Like that. Let's just... Okay. Now you can see our light is set perfectly, and you have to close right there because that's where you open when you... And now let's just tie it right here so that it will be strong enough. Okay. If it's moving, because sometimes this doesn't puff. Now you just raise it that way to that level, and let's raise this up. Yes, like that, and more. Okay, perfect. Now guys, with this light setup, just take this. Perfect. Nice. Now you can see with this light setup, the distance from the light from this, the distance from, let me just so guys, you can see this light setup is set, and the distance from the background to the light setup is really low. You can see the model can be sitting, the model can be standing. I'll show you with sample photos, and you can see how the arm is stretching and supporting the our softbox, and you can see that our softbox is really big. That means it will like fill all the lighting all over on our model. And mostly, if I tend to use like a 50 or a wide lens, so that I can shoot it from down here, and that I can achieve the photos very nice. Because if I shoot the photos from down here, I can get the model very well and maybe looking taller. And if the model is sitting down, you can see the light is not coming in my images, or the light is not appearing in my images. And this is one of my most used light setup, one light setup. And the other light setup I use, so I'll just go ahead and dismantle this and set the other creative light setup. But let's say, for example, I'm shooting, what are they called, headshots, and I just need to use the same light setup. If the model will stand, you can see I won't get really nice. This will be on my space. So what I'm going to do, you have to raise this. You can see I just raised one. Let's say, what's it called? Let's say I just raised one half of the stand, but up there it's actually not raised, so I have to raise this up as much as possible so that I can touch the ceiling, and then I can set my U-shaped reflector right here. I can now set the U-shaped reflector right here like this, and then now go ahead, set this right here. And now what this does is it removes all the shadows which the light hasn't removed. So this reflects here, and the other part of the light reflects on the model to create really nice light for headshots and maybe other headshots and maybe 3/4 portraits. And now for the other light setup, of course, we have to okay, so guys, without the U-shaped, you're taking full body images. With the U-shaped, you can either take what are they called, 3/4 portraits, headshots, and all that. Now for the other light setup, we have to use the add light, and this creates really nice shadows on the background. You can use this with the Mylar, or you can use this with the optical snoot. So let's go. I just push this down slightly. Okay. Perfect. Now guys, for the other light setup, we're going to use add light. And for you to create nice add light, you can use different diffusers. You can see these are double diffused softbox. But for our hard light, we will not just use this, because this actually creates very soft lighting. What we're going to use this. These are cones. They are actually normally sold very cheap. They come for around let's say 1500 Kenyan shillings, and it's just very cheap. And you can always go ahead and get a set of what are they? These are gels. You can go ahead and get a set of gels. We have a yellow, green. I have several gels. Let me show you guys. Yes, you can see you can go ahead and get these gels. And on the gel set, we always have this clear gel, and this actually is used as a clean diffuser for this one, and it really creates add lighting. So you can either shoot, if you want softer than the hard, which will just come right here from, which will come to the undiffused cone. So you can just go ahead and attach this right here, right there. And what you can do, you can just come right here and attach this to your lighting like this, and you'll create really nice lighting with a few shadows in the background, but the shadows won't be so harsh compared to when you're using the light without the cone. So that's the other light setup for this. Let's say, for example, you need to do very sharp edge shots. Let's say at F11 and above. You can always use hard light and you get of course some shadow on the models, which are very contrasted shadows, also contrasted images, but you get very sharp images with this light setup. And that's just one light setup. These are different diffusers. You can see the first diffuser I used there, soft box, and the other diffuser I used this very small cone, which creates really nice contrasted shadows. And the next diffuser which I normally use, and it really creates amazing images, is the optical snoot. And if you haven't watched my previous video, click the link up here and you'll see how we set the optical snoot. But yeah, so guys, we have two types of snoots, and the other light setup we use, the other diffusers we use are these optical snoots. And guys, we have two types of snoots. We have the one with the adjustable lens, and the other one with just the cone itself. And what this does, it just creates the circle on the background, and it really doesn't look so sharp compared to when you're using this snoot right here. And I'll show you samples of both in photos. And what the difference between these two cones is, this is more advanced. It has a lens, and it comes with those, what are they? It comes with, let me just look for them. I didn't prepare myself for this video. I'm just getting everything individually. And so guys, the difference between this snoot right here, you can see this just a cone which is shaped like a snoot, and now this more advanced snoot is, you can see this snoot comes with these different shapes which normally show on the background. Let's say, for example, when you're shooting a model, you can use these different shapes to be as creative as possible with your photos. And let me just show you how this works. I just attach this on my light like that, and then for this one I have to lower it as low as possible up to that level like that, and let's set it as straight as possible because I need the effects to be on the background. And you can see now how the light looks like. It's really facing more on the background. And if you want to see these effects perfect, which are shadows, just use a white background and you see them perfect. So we'll start with this slit, and I'll just go ahead. It comes with this, like it's like a supporter which holds the objects right there, and just like that. I don't know if you guys can see, and just attach this right there like that. And now the hack is, when you're shooting with these shapes, remember the lens is not zoomable, but it's adjustable to get the sharp object. So what you can do, if you want it to be bigger, you have to push the light away from the background. If you want to get it smaller, you have to push the light very close to the background. So what I'm going to do, let me just turn this on. And you can see that effect right there. Let me just go ahead and shut down all these lights. I don't know if you can see it. Yeah, I'm sure you can see it with that studio lighting. And what I'm going to do now, you can always rotate this to get the slit perfectly straight like there. But let's say, for example, I'm shooting an headshot and I need this slit to be more on my model face. I have to set it in a way that it's very close to the model's face. The other shape is the circle shape, so you just remove this right there, and you can always set this shape right like this. Just push it. Yeah, like that. I don't know if you guys can see. Let me just shut down this my continuous lighting, and you can see the effects on the background perfect. You can see now, if you want to make the shape so sharp, what you do is you push, there's a small knob down here, just turn this on. There's a very small knob down here on the lens, and you can just straighten it until you feel it's sharp, and you'll create amazing images with that. And just go ahead and turn this off, and you can see our circle is slightly sharp, but the reason you can see this slight edges right here which are slightly colored, this may be dust which I haven't cleaned my strobe for some time. So that's another shape. Let me show you the other shape quickly. So just turn on this. The other shape is this window-like shape right here. So what you do is just attach it right there and come down here. Just attach. And you can see it's slightly looking upside down. So what you can do, just rotate this as much as possible so that you can see the shape upright. But it depends on just how you want the shape to look like. And let's just do the other side. Now that's looking. I just go ahead and shut down my video light like that, and now you can see the shape on the background. And if you want to make it sharp, you can see now the knob is up here, so go ahead and sharpen it so that you can get very sharp shape right there like that. I know it's not that sharp, but you get the point, guys. You get the point. If I'm shooting, I'll do this with a model and show you how to use these different shapes with only one light setup. And you can either set the model in front of the shape, or you can either set the model slightly away from the shape, somewhere like this, and the light will just be as creative as possible. So the other shape is, let me just turn on my continuous lighting. The other shape is the moon shape, and the moon shape comes in the same knob or in the same shape as the circle, the smaller circle. And because you can always customize the bigger circle to a smaller circle, we don't need to repeat that. So just attach the moon shape and just set it right there. Right there like that. And you can always perfect it depending on how you want the moon to look like. And you can always, let's say for this one, you just rotate until you see, because most time the moon doesn't really, the moon always has different shapes when you look at the moon, mostly in the evening, and the moon always comes in different shapes. The full moon, the crescent, I don't know, I don't really remember all that, but you can always set it in very, very different shapes and be very creative with only one light setup and a few diffusers here and there. So guys, that's like all. And yeah, for the other optical snoot, it doesn't really create a sharp shape. So what I can just remove this. Okay. So guys, the other snoot, this is more of the optical snoot. This is just a snoot. What does it really doesn't create really nice shapes on the background. So it creates you can see the shape it creates. It creates that a vignette effect on the background. Let's say, for example, you're shooting a model and you just want to get the light specifically on the face. You can always go ahead and use this to get a really nice lighting. And you can see it creates this light behind me, which is like a vignette, and you just get a really nice lighting. And the other thing is, that's the different diffusers and different light setups which you can use to create nice images with only one light. If you're only using one light, you don't need all those 3 light setups to just create amazing images. You can use this cone, which goes for like that 500 Kenyan shillings, or this snoot, which goes for 30,000 Kenyan shillings, or this softbox right here, which goes for 17,000 Kenyan shillings, or you can use this cone right here, which goes for 1,500 Kenyan shillings. Those are different light setups and different diffusers you can use to create amazing images. Hope you learned something from today's video. My name is Mutemwa, and see you in the next one.